In this lesson, we're going to talk about online advertising. We'll cover the basics of it. It's going to be a little bit more detailed this lesson, so please allow a little bit more time. You may need to take some notes on this one, but we'll take you through it as step by step and see where we get to. So, where do you want to advertise? Well, remember our little graph we showed you in a previous lesson about where the various age demographics use social media. So use that as your indication. And really, looking at that graph, you'll see it really need to be on Facebook and Instagram. Fortunately, Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company nowadays, so you can actually manage advertising for them in the one place. But before we talk about paid advertising, let's just talk about how we use social media. I mentioned before, you'll have a personal profile, but that's for personal use only. So don't try to promote your business on your personal profile, because you could get stung for doing that. Facebook could actually ban your account if they wish to. So you need to market your business from your Facebook business page. You've got to think about likes versus reach. You may have 3,000 likes on your business page, but you're not going to reach 3,000 people every time you post something on your business page, because the reach on business posts is way down about 5%. So Facebook really want you to pay for advertising. And I mentioned this earlier as well. Don't ask for likes from fellow photographers or non-customers, because you're just going to reduce the amount of reach, effective reach you're going to get, because the people that might see your posts on Facebook and Instagram are not your real clients, so you're just wasting that opportunity. Customers do expect businesses to have a social media presence nowadays, so you can share your work online, get the word out. Your ad account will be linked to your Facebook business page and your Instagram business profile. You may need to convert your Instagram page to a business profile if you haven't already done so. When you're actually doing the setup on Facebook, they will prompt you to change it, so don't worry. Probably the first invitation you'll get from Facebook when you set up a business page is they'll say to you, why don't you boost this post to increase the amount of reach and engagement you're getting. The problem with boosting posts is boost posts are a special type of way Facebook deal with them, and they're not encouraging the type of, they're really just for likes and stuff. They're not really there for engagement in the same way. You want people clicking on an advert to visit your website ultimately. And that'll boost posts. The algorithm behind the boost posts isn't effective enough for doing that. So when they offer you, if you want to do a boost post, just ignore that, because what we want to do here is proper Facebook advertising. Problem with Facebook and advertising is they have a very overcomplicated interface, and they change it on a regular basis, and sometimes it can be horrific to try and navigate around. You can go from page to page to page and just go, oh my God. And some of the stuff that they have they've took their advertising product to the point where people can plug in full directories of products and product databases and stuff like that. The problem with that is that for small businesses like us, with all that stuff we don't need, it just gets in the way and it's just clutter. So it is quite, when you first get in here, you think, oh, where do I start? So let's start at the beginning. You want to be in what is called the Meta. It was now called the Meta, because Facebook have changed their name to Meta. You want to be in the Meta Business Suite. So if you go to your Facebook menu, on the desktop, it's on the left, where you'll see pages and stuff like that. And if you scroll down further, you'll see Meta Business Suite. And of course, as soon as you start using that, you'll find that menu actually moves higher in your menu at the side. Again, Facebook moves things around. So, think about your objective first of all. Right? You're going to put an advert. What's your objective? What do you want that advert to do for you? Who is your target audience? Right? Two things there. The objective, you want them to get to your website, because that's what, once they're on your website, you can control what they're doing. Right? Target audience, you don't want the wrong client coming to your website, because they'll just leave again and you'll just waste money on that advert. So that's why two key things: objective and target audience. Related to that target audience, obviously, is the demographics. This is how you target them. They think about their location, their age, their demographic, the gender, income levels. We did all this at the start of the course, remember, when we were identifying our clients. So hopefully you've got a target profile where you can sit in this and plug all this data in. We only want to advertise to that audience. We don't want our adverts going to other photographers, for example. I get this all the time and it does my head in. Because I have this marketing for photographers website, Facebook thinks I'm interested in photographers, so I see photographers advertising to me all the time. And that is basically because they haven't fine-tuned their targeting. So they're wasting adverts targeting at me. So be careful what we do with your targeting. Think about your budget, how much you want to spend per day. Advertising should actually be quite a high part of your business budget. You should spend quite a bit of money on advertising, 10-20% of your turnover in some cases. So think about that. Video ads work best. I've said this before, I'll say it again, use Animoto, create slideshows. Like you've got photographs, you might not have video, but you've got photographs, so you can create slideshows which turn into videos. And you can actually incorporate text into these marketing videos and make them keep them quite short. Animoto is great for this. They have this whole marketing thing now, where you can actually create a marketing video, and they're very, very effective. And remember what we talked about in advertising, the printed advertising is AIDA. Grab their attention, generate interest, create desire, and have a call to action. That's your 4 things you need in any advert that you're creating. So, I'm going to show you some of the steps that you need to create on Facebook. I'm going to switch my little mug off here on the screen so you can focus on what we're looking at. First step is to create a Facebook pixel for our business. And what the Facebook pixel does, it tracks visitors to our website. So anytime somebody visits our website, there's a little bit of data on our site that Facebook can track, and Facebook then knows that they've been on our site and what pages they've visited. So we do this by going into the Meta Business Suite and click on Home, All Tools, Event Manager. Then you hover over the plus sign to connect a data source. You see that little plus sign on the left beside Connect Data Source. Click that. Then it will say what type of data source are we connecting. In our case, we want to connect a website. So you click on Web and then hit Connect. Now what Facebook's going to do, they're actually going to see if there's a way where they can actually easily integrate their Pixel service into your website. So they're going to see if there's what they call a partner integration. So you put your website URL in there, and like this, I've put my photography website, and then you click the tick button. And then how do you want to connect your website? And you can track either just pixel activity, or you can also track conversions. And in our case, we want conversions. And what conversion does, Facebook can actually detect when somebody fills in a form on your site, and that's called a conversion. So they're not just tracking that they visited your site, they can actually see, yes, this person came to your site and actually got converted into a proper lead because they filled in a form. So you want the conversions and Metapixel. So you click that and then select Next. Now they're going to say, right, what partner integration? Well, in this case, I use WordPress. There is a WordPress integration. You think that's great, wonderful. It's not as wonderful as you think because it doesn't actually work. This is where Facebook tend to fall down. So you click on WordPress and they'll tell you then to download their WordPress plugin, and it actually fails and doesn't work at this point. Fortunately, you can just then click out at this point, skip past here on Facebook and go and get the plugin on WordPress. Log into your WordPress panel, search for the Facebook for WordPress plugin and activate it. And when you activate it, what it's going to do, this is, you'll see my settings panel in WordPress here. You see connect your business to Facebook, get started. it'll actually connect in through your login. So it'll say continue. It connects to your business site. It does a login. It asks for your permission. You just continue again. What's the app allowed to do? Next. You're all set. You're ready to create your first ad. Last thing, you've just got to confirm that you trust the site, you're passing information back and forward to you. Click that little tick there and hit confirm. Now what that is a long-winded way of installing the Facebook Pixel on your site. You can actually get other plugins where I don't know Squarespace. I haven't used Squarespace myself, but I'm sure they'll have a setting on their website that will say Facebook Pixel ID, and you just need to get a copy of your Facebook Pixel ID, which is in your Add Account settings against your account profile. Get a copy of that number, paste it in there, and that does exactly that same thing that I just walked you through there. Right? That walkthrough is what effectively are meant to be a sort of plug and play way of integrating Facebook and WordPress, but these things are never easy, and Facebook just seem to complicate it. So if you get stuck, just drop me an email and I'll see if I can help you out. So we've got our Pixel. This is our ads summary screen where we can start creating adverts. So before we get to create adverts, I want to create what is called a saved audience, because I want to actually create the type of audience I want to advertise to. So I'm not just going to advertise to anybody. I want to generate my target audience first. So the first place I go to in the Advertising Manager is in the Business Suite. I go All Tools, Audiences, Create a Saved Audience. And here's the form that comes up. Now I want to create an audience. I'm going to call it Potential Brides. Right, and it's going to ask me where the locations are. Well, in my case, I'm going to select Scotland because I do weddings throughout Scotland. So I'm going to target people who are in Scotland first of all. So I put that as my location. You can narrow that location to a county or a region, whatever you wish. And here's the other settings I'm going to put in. So I continue on that form and I narrow this further. And what I do is I say, right, location Scotland. I've got an age range of 35 to 45. That's my target audience. The people I'm targeting, they're female, 35 to 45. I want people who are interested in Vogue magazine, Cosmopolitan magazine, or Vanity Fair. They're educated to a professional level, and their relationship statuses are engaged. And they must also match interest in wedding planning or wedding planners. So that narrows my audience down pretty tight. So my target audience size here throughout the whole of Scotland on Facebook is only about 14, 15, 16,000 potential clients. So that's about the right size audience I should be advertising to. So I'm now going to create my little advert. So create ads, get more website visitors. That's the objective of my advert here, is to get more website visitors. That's the objective, right? I'm going to put some photographs up there and some text. So again, AIDA. Look at that little advert on the side. You see the preview? Award-winning wedding photography that will make you go wow. That's grabbing an interest. Limited availability. Check availability now. I'm telling there's some scarcity. I'm giving them an idea of prices from $14.95. Alan Hutchinson with Weddings Wow. So think of the AIDA principle. Grab their attention. Weddings Wow in a picture. Create interest. Award-winning wedding photography. Limited availability. Generate desire. Look at that beautiful bride in that picture. And action. Check availability now. Learn more. One thing I hate about Facebook advertising is they don't let you change these little buttons. It says learn more. I would like to customize it. They only give you a limited amount of options you could put in there. And I would rather have the button saying check availability. But unfortunately you can't do it on Facebook, which is a nuisance. So So that's how you create the advert. So I'll click that. What audience is this going to? Well, now I'm going to click it and tell it to target to my potential brides audience that I created earlier, and it gives you a recap of who they are, so you know exactly who you're going to advertise on. What's my budget? In this case, I'm going to budget £10 per day. And they're going to tell me I'm going to reach approximately between 2,000 and 6,000 people a day, and I'm likely to get between 172 and 500 clicks. That's quite a wide range, right? And again, if you modify your budget, you'll see what difference that can make. So my total budget for a month would be £300 if I'm running for 30 days. And I'm placing the advert on Facebook and Instagram, you can see on the left. So that's how you create a little Facebook advert. You can monitor your advert in the advertising manager on Facebook and see how well it's performed. If it's not performing well, don't be afraid to switch it off. And also, think about, you may have to refine that saved audience. You may need to tweak it a little bit to match your target client. Advert positions. Personally, I switch off the ads in Messenger. I don't want advertising going in Messenger. I just pick it in Facebook, Instagram. I don't want advertising in Messenger. Personally, I think they're quite obtrusive and I don't like them. I recommend spend a bit of time learning how the Facebook ad interface works. You've really got to spend time and learn the system. It's not easy. And you've got to get it right, because you can waste a lot of money if you get it wrong. The other thing to think about with Facebook advertising is doing what we call A/B split tests, where you will do two or three versions of the same advert, maybe change a few minor things between the adverts. So maybe one ad will have one picture, another ad will have a different picture, or one ad will have a different headline text than the other. And then monitor them for 2 or 3 days and see which particular ad is getting the most clicks. And then that will tell you that that's the most effective, and then switch the rest off. That's what we call A/B testing. That's a very effective thing to do and quite important. So that's advertising on Facebook and Instagram. In the next lesson, I'm going to tell you how we can turn that up a scale and market like a ninja on these platforms. And I think you'll find it quite exciting. I'll see you there.